Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles at Memorial Stadium. On the mound for the Tigers today is Bryan Kelly, whose record is 2-2 with a 2.53 ERA. And pitching for the Orioles today is Mike Boddicker, whose record is 4-1 with a 5.63 ERA. Okay, we have started the month of May off 0-2, and I feel like we're on the verge of becoming irrelevant pretty quickly here this season. We take a look really quick at the standings, and we're only 4.5 games out, but the teams that are above us, Boston and New York specifically, those two teams I feel like are head and shoulders above our team right now. Things could change. There could be injuries, and players could struggle, and we could make a couple of deals and maybe get back in the race. But at 500, as we are in the first week of May, it just feels bad. Like it feels like we've sort of have become who we are going to be with this team. And as a fan of the Detroit Tigers, and certainly being alive and witnessing the '84 World Series, I feel more compelled to make decisions that might help us get to where we want to go, which is, to get to the World Series and be as good as that team was. Certainly, we're not even in that category just yet. But I did make a couple of decisions, transaction-wise, with our minor league system. We start with Kevin Bass. Kevin Bass got sent down to AAA. A player that I like. He's just off to a bad start. Hasn't really offered us any power. He's had 8 home runs in the previous 2 seasons that he's been on the team. And in fact, he was probably our only good player in the ALCS in 1982. He had a home run in that series and batted .353. But he's not off to a good start. And I'm like, well, if he's not going to hit and his defense is only slightly above average, shouldn't we at least give Jesse Barfield a chance? Jesse Barfield has a better rating overall, certainly better defensively. As a 4th outfielder, I think that has some value. And he had 6 total home runs last year, 2 for us. And I feel like with his 90 power, maybe he could get our offense jump-started in his spot starts. That would be spelling any of our outfielders. We have to try to keep them healthy. Gibby and Lemon and Glenn Wilson, those are players that we want to have in the outfield all season long. And if we don't take good care of them with their health, then, we could very well lose one or more of them. So Jesse Barfield is up to handle that. I'm sure that we will see Kevin Bass again this year. I am fairly certain that we will see Eddie Miller, who is another outfielder who's been really good for us when we've needed him, although his ratings are not particularly well. But he even had 32 stolen bases for us in '82 when we pulled him off the scrap heap from Atlanta. And we also have Jeff Stone, who I actually really like. He got a September call-up for us. So in AAA, we have 3 players, outfielders, that can benefit us. And we're going to give a shot to Jesse Barfield first and foremost. He'll be on our bench today, but he will definitely get some PT and maybe help ignite our offense, which is definitely struggling lately. So now pitching, this was always part of the plan. We moved Dave Rozema, our number 5 starter, to long relief. We can't send him down. Anybody that has a check mark means he has a major league contract, and therefore we cannot send them to the minors without putting them on waivers, right? Unless they accept, they would accept it, but that's not how things work in the game here. So that's my notation that we cannot send a player to the minor leagues. So we've brought up Danny Jackson to become our 5th starter. He will get the start tomorrow. And Danny Jackson pitched 3 games for us last year. In September, he won all 3. I mean, what more can you ask for than that? In real life, Danny Jackson was a rookie in 1984 for Kansas City. So while he is only 22 years old, he was in the majors, beginning his career with the Royals this same season that we're simming. So we're not doing anything too unusual with Danny Jackson, except for, unfortunately, bumping Rozema to our bullpen. And that'll just be for maybe 2 or 3 starts. We'll put Rosie back in the 5th spot, and we'll send Danny Jackson back down to the minors. Okay, and then the other thing that we did is we moved Carl Willis to the bullpen. Willis just had a really bad game, and actually he's had 2 in a row. He's given up 8 runs in the last 2 innings that he's pitched, and we're going to give him a break by sending him down. We don't have enough data on him to decide whether he's as good as he was last year or as bad as he is this year. But we'll give him a break as we try to do any of our relievers who are not under a major league contract. We like to cycle them down, bring up some other players, keep them fresh all year. And so we brought up Jeff Montgomery, who got into 9 games in September of last year. He eventually will probably be our closer, as he was in real life, for the Royals. I believe we drafted him, no? Yes, he was a 2nd-round draft pick in our very first draft in 1980. So he's worked his way through the minors, as you can see, and made a little bit of PT last year. And he'll make it into our bullpen right now as a short reliever, a right-handed setup guy for Dave Smith. Okay? So that's what we're doing for now. We have yet to pull a trigger on a deal. If things continue to go sour, if we remain near the 500 mark as we head into June and the draft coming up, we very well just might trade Jack Morris. And we certainly are most likely to trade Lance Parrish, which neither one of those things actually make me feel good, but it will save us payroll, and it might actually give us a chance to rebuild some of our minor league system, and also call up some of the youngsters to get a chance to see what they can do in a season that just might become a wash at this point. So let's get started with today's game. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. We are playing the Orioles with Brian Kelly on the mound. Kelly's off to a decent start. Somehow it says he's never faced the Orioles. Not true. Dave Smith unavailable today. So that means Jeff Montgomery will probably get the save. Dave Rozema is available out of the pen today. He's rested from his last start. So he is available to pitch if we need him. And Mike Boddicker is the pitcher for the Orioles. He's a right-hander. Lou Whitaker is listed as tired, so he will get the day off. Jody Reed will take second base. I also am a little concerned that we're seeing already in the early parts of May so many of our players being listed as tired, and I don't have a lot of confidence in our bench guys. So, if we don't have our starters in there, our bench is not getting it done so far. Let's go ahead and do the official lineup rundown for the Detroit Tigers. Batting leadoff in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting second at first base is Greg Brock. Batting third at third base is George Brett. Batting cleanup in right field is Glenn Wilson. Batting fifth and DHing is Ken Smith. Batting sixth and catching is Terry Kennedy. Batting seventh at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting eighth in center field is Chet Lemon. And batting ninth is the second baseman, Jody Reed. Mike Boddicker, pitching for the Orioles today, making his 7th start. He has a good record. He's 4-1, but his ERA is a 5.63 earned run average. 31 strikeouts in 40 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .286 against him. He does have a complete game. Fastball topping out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 48%. If you look at his pitches here, he's got 2 solid ones a slow curve rated an 88, and a changeup at 80. A Fosh ball, which I don't really even know what a Fosh ball is. Those pitches are both below league average. Overall, an 84. The 26-year-old righty is arbitration eligible at the end of the year. And he is coming off his first loss of the year, where the Cleveland Indians just lit him up 4-3, giving up 9 runs on 13 hits and 4 walks. So that's how his ERA jumped up to 5.63. Let's take a look at the defense for the Orioles. I believe this is the first time we are seeing them, and you might remember they made a big trade yesterday, trading their everyday shortstop, Robin Yount, to Oakland. It was to Oakland. And they got a couple of minor league level players in return. So their starting shortstop now is Bobby Bonner, who's rated a 94 defensively. And the left side of the infield is amazing, with John Castino, who won the Gold Glove last year at third. So pretty good all the way around. Left field and right field, not particularly great. As their second baseman, Wayne KRENCHICKI, is in left today, and Bob Pate is in right. That's a weird team. Let's go ahead and get today's game started. Here's Kirk GIBSON in a huge slump. He's batting .244 in his last 20 games. Here's Gibby leading off. 0-1 count to GIBSON. And a base hit to left. There we go. That's a good start. We got Gibby on first. Greg Brock up next. Best hitter on the team so far, as far as everyday players go. Strikes out on a pitch that was low and outside. We're going to send GIBSON a 70% chance of being successful. Oh, wow, both teams have a Kennedy at catcher. This is Kevin Kennedy. Oh, he's rated an 88. Ouch. You know what? Maybe we're not going to do that. We're going to let George Brett swing away. 0-2 to Brett, and a ground ball to short. That should be 2. Yep. So, yeah, that's the way it goes, I guess, right? Let's take a look at this crazy Orioles lineup. They're 16-11 on the year. They got to be doing something right. Batting leadoff, playing second base is Tom HERR. Batting second and DHing is Alan Bannister. Batting third in right field is Bob Pate. Batting cleanup, playing first base is Jim TRABER. Batting fifth at third base is John Castino. Batting sixth and catching is Kevin Kennedy. Batting seventh in left field is Wayne KRENCHICKI. Batting eighth in center field is Rick Manning. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Bobby Bonner. Okay, Brian Kelly. He's been our best pitcher so far this year, considering he's kind of a nobody. He's making a 6th start, 2-2 with a 2.53 ERA, 23 strikeouts in 32 innings pitched. Opponents are only batting 181 against him. He's got a career on-base percentage, opponent's batting average, of 204. He's never thrown a complete game. His fastball tops out at 93 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 47.4%. He's got 3 pitches, all above league average. This guy, by all rights, should be our ace in the lineup. Overall, rated an 86, the 25-year-old righty is arbitration eligible next year. Looking at his log, he's coming off a loss to the Brewers, where he went 7 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 of the hits were home runs, though, and he walked 1. Not a terrible performance, but not good enough to get the victory. Okay, let's take a look at our defense. It's solid everywhere you look. That's the one good thing we can say about our team. And yet, it doesn't really mean jack shit with George Brett at third. He's committed 8 errors in the first month plus. Leading off for the Orioles, pardon me, is Tommy HERR, switch hitter who they acquired in the offseason. And that's going to be a double off the wall. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it'll be caught. Gibby making the catch. That looked like it was going to make it all the way to the wall on a line, and it almost did, as GIBSON makes the catch. One down. Here's Alan Bannister, one of the weirder DHs in the game. Comes through with a base hit to left. Bannister on first. One down. Bob Pate. Pate coming over from Seattle. He's batting 190, and he was the bane of our existence in the 82 ALCS as Bannister steals second. His fourth stolen base on the year, 4 out of 5. Yeah, Pate, I believe he had 2 home runs. He had 2 home runs in the ALCS against us, and went on to go 1 for 15 in the World Series that year. All right, so Bannister's at second, 1 down. Here's Bob Pate. And a line drive to right. Caught by Wilson. Bannister will tag. The go-ahead run on third base for Jim TRABER. TRABER, they made the first baseman after Eddie Murray was traded to Detroit. He's since moved on to Toronto, and I don't know, God knows where he's at now. Fly ball to center field, and that's out number 3. So Kelly gets out of the jam. We go to the top of the second. Here's Glenn Wilson leading off. Wilson batting .264, 3 home runs. As with most of our Tigers, they have all just tanked it in the last 2 weeks. All the averages have gone down. Here's Kenny Smith. Oh, Kenny! Finally, his 3rd home run of the year. 1-0 Detroit. This guy's a 3 true outcome guy. I mean, he hits a home run, he strikes out, or he walks. He does all of those a lot. So good job by Ken Smith. 1 out for Terry Kennedy. Kennedy batting .358. Sharing the duty with my large adult son, Lance Parrish. 2 down. And Trammell 2 for 3 in his career versus Boddicker, and he strikes out swinging. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Tigers are up 1-0 on the home run by Ken Smith. And John Castino will lead off. Castino batting .336 with 4 home runs and a base hit to left. So leadoff man is on for the catcher, Kevin Kennedy. They're not related. Kevin Kennedy, of course, was the manager for the Rangers in real life. I don't know what other team he managed for off the top of my head, but he's the backup catcher on this team. We've got the runner on first. Let's see if we can't get a double play with the catcher at the plate. Well, it's going to be a fly ball to left center field. GIBSON making the catch. 1 out. Wayne KRENCHICKI, he was their everyday second baseman. And now it looks like he's a bench guy. Filling in just about anywhere they need him. There's a ground ball to short and a double play, 6-4-3. We go to the top of the third. Chet Lemon leading off. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look at something real quick. I'm sorry, I have to get up my information. This is Memorial Stadium. First time we're here. Let me tell you about what we can expect this series from Memorial Stadium. All right, so lefties have a 3% less chance to hit a home run, even though Ken Smith just did. Righties have a 2% more likely chance to hit a home run. While lefties getting hits are 10% less likely. Righties getting hits is 7% less likely. Doubles are 15% less likely. Triples, forget about it. They are 53% less likely to get triples here. Strikeouts and double plays are pretty normal. Errors, 7% less likely. So this is not an offensive stadium. It is definitely more for pitching. So we'll keep that in mind. Here's Chet Lemon. First guy up here in the top of the third, and he grounds out to short. 2 down, Jody Reed at the plate, getting the spot start today at second. High fly ball to center field. 2 quick outs for Boddicker, and we're back to Gibby, who led off the game with a hit. He's got 1 of the 2 hits. And he goes to left for another base hit. So GIBSON possibly breaking out of his slump. He's 2 for 2 today. And because there's 2 outs, we're going to try to steal second. He's 10 out of 11 this year. And it was low, allowing GIBSON to steal second base. So he's actually 12 of 13. GIBSON is on a torrid pace, having way more success than he's ever had. Let's see if Brock can drive him home. Nope, popping it up. Our team is so evenly dispersed with RBI. The team leader is not even in the game. It's Lou Whitaker. He has 19 RBI. And you know what? We just have not been clutch at all this year. We go to the bottom of the third, stranding the runner at second. It's Rick Manning leading off. Manning batting .380. No home runs. And he gets a base hit to left. So, no surprise, leadoff man is on. What is it, like an 80% chance every game? Bob Bonner taking over the shortstop roles for Robin Yount on this team. Will Manning be running here? 2-0 count, and Bonner taps it back to Kelly, who spins to second and gets the force. So 1 out, Bob Bonner. On first, he's got great speed, 92 speed, and we're back to Tommy HERR. 0-1 count to HERR. Fly ball to right. 2 down. Here is Alan Bannister. He had a hit in the first inning, and he strikes out swinging. So Kelly's looking pretty good so far. He hasn't walked anybody. Only given up 3 hits. We go to the top of the 4th inning, and George Brett will lead off. He has a home run in his career versus Mike Boddicker, and Boddicker walks him to lead off the inning. None of this is a surprise. We're going to hit and run. Finally, we get to, we're 4 innings into the game, and this is the first time I've chosen to do something other than the GIBSON stolen base and a base at the center field. Brett moving on to third. It's first and third, nobody out. And Ken Smith at the plate. We just saw him go deep. Why not get 2? First pitch swinging, and he pops it up. Man, we are just not clutch on this team. We're going to go on contact here. It's not a hit and run situation, so this could still be a double play with these 2 slow pokes running. Nope. It doesn't matter. So we get runners on first and third and cannot convert. Let's see how much that swings the momentum here, as Bob Pate will lead off. Yep. Base at the center, so leadoff man is on again, because of course. Let's see how many runs Kelly will give up here. There we go, 2-run home run. It had to happen, otherwise we would have scored in the 4th. So another left-hander hits a home run despite it being less likely in this stadium than the average stadium. 2-1 Baltimore. Ground ball to first and an error. God damn it. This game sucks so bad. I don't even want to play it anymore. I have to be honest. Like, it just is so poorly crafted. I get no enjoyment out of it anymore. We have a backup catcher getting the 4th consecutive it's the 4th consecutive base runner after not scoring in that inning, right? First and third, we couldn't score. And now the game completely swings the pendulum back the other way. That's a blooper. No, it's going to be a pop-up into shallow left field. 1 out. Here's Rick Manning. He's got 1 of the 6 hits already. And there's a base hit. It's 3-1. Castino actually holds, so we'll pull the infield in. Here's Bob Bonner. And that'll score at least 1. How does the catcher score from second on a ball right there? Unbelievable. Four to 1. How many of those runs were unearned, by the way? Oops. Yeah, only 2 of them. So it doesn't the game doesn't destroy the pitcher's ERA. It kind of masks it by giving them 2 unearned runs. So this game is over. We're just going to try to get through it here. Brian Kelly getting a ground ball. TRABER ground ball to third. Will be an error. Nope. Like, the 4 runs that were scored, you know, like it gave Brock an error at first. Like, that would just not happen. If he, the only reason to give him the error, for an error to happen in the inning, was to give up those 4 runs in total. You know, like, otherwise it just wouldn't have happened. How many errors do we see that don't lead to runs? Also, the other indicator is Mike Boddicker with his 6 ERA. He could only give up 1 run today. He'll get that ERA down. The other way of looking at it is Brian Kelly had an ERA at 2.5. So they've given him his 2 runs. That'll keep his ERA in that same, realm without adversely affecting him. I mean, like, this game is all predetermined. There's actually no randomness to it at all. Take a chance with Trammell. There was 2 down, so it didn't matter. And he does get a double. That is his 6th double of the year. They're still going to give us 1 run in the 8th or the 9th. That's what the game does. So they'll give us a junk run. There's another error for Brett. That is his 9th error. Pate strikes out. So it's looking like someone's going to hit a home run. Who will it be? Almost Brock. Kelly's only got 89 pitches. We may as well just keep pitching him. It doesn't matter. There's 4 strikeouts. He hasn't walked anybody. There's 5 strikeouts. He hasn't walked anybody, but he's still given up 8 total base runners, not including the 2 errors. We're going to the ninth. We've got Brett, Wilson, and Smith. I'm pretty sure one of these guys is going to hit a home run. Bruce Suter, he is, I guess, their closer. Makes sense. 8 saves, 2 blueies. He's been good. I mean, he's always good, isn't he? He's a Hall of Famer. All right. Well, strikeout. He's got one of the best splitters of all time. Wilson gets a hit. That could be the ballgame. I did not get this one. So yeah, this game was over before it ever started. We lose 4-1. We're 0-3 in the month. And we got Brian Kelly a complete game. We're 14-15 on the year. And there is nothing compelling about this season anymore, unfortunately. I'm kind of reluctant to even continue it, to be honest, at this point. I guess the only thing that might make it interesting for me, and therefore possibly interesting to you, is if I just completely retool this team. Retooling it isn't going to make the game a better game. We've already proven that it's bottom of the barrel. Red Sox win on nippers, 12 strikeouts. Wow, that's pretty good. That's a lot of Ks. That's the only news for today. Transactions. Okay, a few things have going on here. Okay, so first of all, Dwight Bernard signs a 1-year contract from free agency to pitch for Toronto, but they stick him in AAA. So that's nice. There's still some free agents that are getting contracts signed. And then Gibson Alba of the Cardinals signs a 3-year extension. I got to fix that. He's their closer, supposedly. And then we've got some injuries. This is too bad. Tom Candiotti will be done for a month. He's off to a bad start. They've already lost Higuera. And so, I mean, it doesn't matter. They crush us. They had, Holdsworth in there, who threw a complete game shutout against us, despite being an absolutely horrible pitcher. Mike Aldretti, left fielder, first baseman, is going to miss a month. He's had a couple good years for San Francisco. Off to a bad start this year. And then Kevin Hickey of the White Sox is going to miss 5 weeks, but he is not important. Okay, let's pull up the box score and get out of here. I mean, we'll give player of the game to Ken Smith because he swung a bat and gave us a moment of hope, even though we were never in this ball game. Brian Kelly takes the loss. He gets his very first career complete game. First and third make errors again, even though we're playing in Memorial Park, where it's 7% less likely to get errors. George Brett also hit into 2 double plays. Yeah, I guess we're not good. Mike Boddicker gets the win. He's 5-1. Bruce Suter gets the save. And yeah, Baltimore, they trade away Robin Yount, and they don't miss a beat. So good job by them. That's going to do it. Tomorrow might be the last day of the 1969 Seattle Pilots season. We're going to Game 6, down 3-2. Stay tuned for that. And we'll come back tomorrow and try again against Baltimore. Until then, everyone, have a great day.